Welcome back, brilliant Gemini souls, to the reading that the universe has been assembling with extraordinary intelligence, perfect timing, and a precision that is entirely fitting for the most quick-minded and mentally gifted sign in the entire zodiac. Today is May 10th, 2026, and if you woke up this morning with your mind already racing, thoughts arriving faster than you can process them, a sense that something enormous is on the edge of breaking through, a restless and electric knowing that today is categorically different from every day that came before it, then your remarkable Gemini mind is reading the cosmic room with flawless accuracy. Because today, Gemini, everything changes. And this reading is your complete and detailed guide to navigating, receiving, and fully maximizing every extraordinary shift the cosmos has prepared for your sign today. Gemini, you are the twins, the most versatile, most intellectually alive, most communicatively gifted, and most delightfully complex sign in the entire zodiac. Ruled by Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, ideas, information, and the swift and brilliant movement of the mind from one concept to the next, you carry within you a mental agility and a hunger for knowledge and connection that is genuinely unmatched anywhere else in the celestial wheel. You see every side of every situation. You think faster than most people realize is possible. You connect dots across disciplines and dimensions that others cannot even see. And today, Gemini, that extraordinary gift is about to become the very engine of a life-changing transformation that has your name written all over it. This reading speaks to every Gemini soul, sun, moon, rising, and every person with significant Gemini energy shaping the architecture and the expression of their chart. Whether you have been riding a current of exciting momentum or navigating what felt like an overwhelming flood of information, change, and mental overload, both experiences have been preparing you for exactly this moment. I am asking you to stay with this reading from the very first word to the absolute last, because the energy here builds and compounds with every paragraph, and the most specific and powerful messages are woven throughout the entire length of this reading. Let it find both of your twins, the thinking one and the feeling one, completely. Viewer comment. I am a Gemini sun and rising, and I have been feeling pulled in 17 directions at once for months. The moment this reading started, something in my mind just went quiet and clear. Like the noise stopped and I could finally hear what the universe has been trying to tell me. This channel is extraordinary. Gemini Twins Awake 2026. The planetary energy on May 10th, 2026 is configured in a way that is deeply, specifically, and powerfully personal for Gemini. Mercury, your ruling planet and the governor of your most essential gifts, is making one of its most potent and activating aspects of the entire year today, sending a surge of communicative power, mental clarity, and intellectual brilliance through the Gemini collective with a force that can only be described as electric. Thoughts that have been tangled are suddenly clear. Ideas that have been forming slowly beneath the surface are suddenly complete and ready to be expressed. Words that have been searching for the right moment are suddenly finding it with effortless and undeniable precision. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance, and divine fortune, is also making one of its most generous and far-reaching gestures toward Gemini energy today. Jupiter loves Gemini's natural breadth of curiosity and knowledge, and today it is rewarding that breadth with a scope of opportunity and possibility that extends further in every direction than anything your impressive intellect has recently mapped. Doors are opening today that lead to rooms you have not yet seen. Paths are becoming available that require exactly the unique combination of skills, perspectives, and communication gifts that only you possess. Jupiter today is not offering Gemini a single opportunity. It is offering an entire landscape of them and inviting you to choose boldly. Venus is also beautifully positioned today in a way that adds warmth, charm, magnetic attraction, and relational grace to the already powerful mental and expansive energy surrounding your sign. Gemini is naturally charming and socially gifted. You light up every room you enter with your wit, your curiosity, and your genuine delight in human connection. And today, Venus is amplifying those qualities to create a personal magnetism that draws exactly the right people, conversations, collaborations, and opportunities directly and swiftly into your orbit. Be visible today, Gemini. Let yourself be seen and heard in every space that matters to you. The moon today moves through a degree that speaks directly to the Gemini need for both intellectual stimulation and emotional authenticity, two things that your sign sometimes struggles to integrate, but that today's lunar energy is actively and lovingly bridging. You are not just a mind, Gemini, though what a mind it is. You are also a heart, a soul, a feeling being who experiences life with a depth and a complexity that your quick wit and social grace can sometimes conceal even from the people who love you most. Today, the moon is bringing both the brilliant Gemini mind and the sensitive Gemini heart into the same conversation. And the result of that integration is the most whole and most powerful version of you that has shown up in a very long time. Career, communication, and your breakthrough moment. In your career, your professional ambitions, and the larger arena of your intellectual and communicative contributions to the world, Gemini, May 10th, 2026, delivers the kind of breakthrough that your razor-sharp mind has been building toward through weeks and months of gathering information, connecting ideas, and positioning yourself, sometimes consciously, sometimes entirely intuitively, at exactly the right crossroads of knowledge and opportunity. Today, those crossroads become a launch pad. Today, the preparation meets the moment. And what happens at that intersection is going to move your professional life forward in ways that are both immediate and lasting. Mercury's powerful aspect today makes communication your single most potent professional tool, which for Gemini is the equivalent of telling a musician that their instrument is being upgraded to the finest ever made. Your ability to articulate complex ideas with clarity and accessibility, to tell stories that make people lean in and listen, to negotiate and persuade and inspire through the sheer quality and agility of your thinking. All of these native Gemini gifts are operating at extraordinary peak capacity today. Use them in every professional context available to you. Write the pitch, give the presentation, send the proposal, have the important conversation. Your words today are not just communication, they are catalysts. For Geminis who have been sitting on an idea, a project, a business concept, or a creative vision that they have been researching, refining, and preparing, but not yet presenting to the world, today is the day the preparation ends and the presentation begins. You have enough information, Gemini. You have done enough research. You are prepared enough, brilliant enough, and ready enough. And the universe today is gently but firmly removing every remaining excuse for delay. Bring your idea into the visible world today in whatever form is most accessible and most authentic. The moment you do, everything that follows will happen faster than you are ready for. Viewer comment. I pitched my business idea to an investor today for the first time. I have been researching and preparing for 8 months and telling myself it was not ready yet. Today, I just did it. She said yes. I am sitting in my car, not able to breathe properly, and this reading is playing on my phone, and every single word is hitting like a prophecy. Gemini energy is absolutely unstoppable when it moves. Gemini Mind in Motion 2026. Financial energy today for Gemini is being directly and generously influenced by Jupiter's expansive presence and Mercury's sharp and strategically powerful positioning. The combination of these two planets today creates what could be described as a financial intelligence download, a sudden clarity about money, value, opportunity, and the specific and actionable steps that lead most directly from where you currently are to where you genuinely want to be. Follow that clarity, act on those steps. The ideas arriving in your mind today about your financial situation are not random thoughts. They are precise and valuable guidance from a universe that is actively invested in your material flourishing. Your reputation in your professional field, your intellectual brand, your communicative authority, the way your ideas are perceived and valued by the people who matter most in your industry is being elevated today in ways that extend well beyond your immediate and visible circle. People are discovering your work, referencing your ideas, and speaking about your gifts in rooms and conversations you are not yet part of. This quiet but powerful expansion of your professional reputation is one of the most exciting and meaningful gifts of today's Mercury-Jupiter alignment, and it is going to create ripples of opportunity that will become visible to you in the most delightful and most unexpected ways over the coming weeks. Love, connection, and the conversations that change everything in love, relationships, and the most meaningful connections of your life, Gemini, May 10th, 2026, brings a specifically and beautifully mercurial kind of romantic and relational transformation. One that arrives not through grand dramatic gestures or sudden emotional earthquakes, but through the power of the right words said at exactly the right moment to exactly the right person. For Gemini, the most profound love stories have always begun with a conversation. And today, the most important conversation of your current relational chapter is finding its moment to happen. For Geminis in committed relationships, today's Mercury energy creates a window of extraordinary communicative openness and emotional honesty between you and your partner that is both rare and deeply precious. Something you have been thinking but not saying, a feeling you have been carrying but not fully expressing, a need that has been present but not clearly articulated, finds its voice today with unusual ease and unusual grace. Have the conversation, Gemini, the one you have been editing in your head, rehearsing, revising, and delaying out of uncertainty about how it will be received. Today, it will be received better than you imagine. Today, it will change things for the better in ways you could not have fully predicted. If you are single, Gemini, the relational energy today is alive with the specific and wonderful kind of potential that comes from mental connection preceding and creating emotional connection. Someone who stimulates your mind, who matches your wit, who keeps up with your intellectual agility, who surprises you with the depth and the originality of their thinking, is entering your field of awareness today or within the immediate days surrounding May 10th, 2026. Pay attention to the conversations that feel electric. Pay attention to the exchanges that leave you thinking about them hours later. Pay attention to the person who makes both of your twins lean forward at the same time. That is the signal. Viewer comment. We talked for 6 hours. I have not talked to anyone for 6 hours since I was a teenager. He knew things, referenced things, connected things in ways that made my Gemini brain feel genuinely met for the first time in years. I came home and this reading was waiting for me, and I sat here and cried happy tears for 20 minutes. The universe is real and it is working overtime for Gemini right now. Gemini, heart and mind for Geminis navigating confusion, ambiguity, or the particular kind of relational uncertainty that comes from having received mixed signals, incomplete information, or communication that has been frustratingly indirect or unclear. Today's Mercury clarity cuts through every one of those obscuring layers and delivers the honest and actionable truth about where things actually stand. You will know what you need to know today, Gemini. The information that has been missing, the clarity that has been elusive, and the understanding that has been just out of reach is arriving today with the kind of clean and unambiguous precision that your information-hungry mind has been desperately craving. The social dimension of Gemini life is also wonderfully activated today, with Venus adding warmth and attraction to Mercury's already sparkling communicative energy. Your friendships, your networks, your communities, and the casual but meaningful connections that make daily life rich and stimulating are all buzzing with a positive and generative energy today. A conversation with a friend opens an unexpected door. A social event or gathering leads to a connection that matters. A chance encounter with someone from your wider circle turns into something significant. Stay available, stay curious, and stay genuinely interested in the people around you today, because Gemini in full social and communicative flow is one of the most magnetic and most fortunate energies in the entire zodiac. Mental brilliance, spiritual curiosity, and the awakening mind. Gemini's spiritual path is as unique and as multifaceted as everything else about your extraordinary sign. Where other signs may find their connection to the divine through stillness, through feeling, or through singular and devoted focus, Gemini finds the divine through the magnificent diversity of ideas, through the conversation that reveals unexpected wisdom, through the book that changes everything, through the question that opens a door that was never supposed to remain closed. Your spirituality is mobile, curious, perpetually expanding, and stubbornly unwilling to be reduced to any single framework or any singular truth. And today, that spiritual mobility is your greatest gift and your most powerful tool. The awakening moving through Gemini today is a specifically mental and communicative one, an upgrade to the quality, the depth, and the spiritual resonance of how you think and how you express what you think. Mercury at this level of activation today is not just enhancing your intellectual function, it is connecting your brilliant mind more directly and more consciously to the intelligence of the universe itself, creating what mystics sometimes call a state of inspired thinking, where the thoughts arriving in your awareness are not entirely your own, but are collaborative transmissions between your personal consciousness and the larger cosmic intelligence that is always available to minds willing enough to reach for it. Spiritual signs and synchronicities are arriving for Gemini today through the channels your sign is most attuned to, through words, through conversations, through things you read or hear at precisely the right moment, through the uncanny relevance of a stranger's offhand comment or a song lyric that contains the answer you have been searching for. The universe speaks to Gemini in language, in the currency of words and ideas and meaning, and today it is being extraordinarily and deliberately communicative. Keep your ears open, keep your mind receptive, and keep a journal or a note app nearby to capture everything that arrives, because what comes through today is too valuable and too specific to risk forgetting. Many Gemini souls are currently in the middle of what could be described as an intellectual and spiritual expansion that is happening at a pace that can feel simultaneously exciting and slightly overwhelming. You are absorbing new information, new perspectives, new ways of understanding yourself and the world at a rate that even your famously quick mind sometimes struggles to fully integrate. Today's energy does not slow that expansion, but it does provide a quality of clarity and coherence that helps the many threads of your developing understanding weave themselves into a tapestry that is genuinely coherent, genuinely meaningful, and genuinely yours. Trust the weaving. The picture is becoming clear. Health, nervous system, and the mind-body connection. Gemini rules the nervous system, the lungs, the arms, the hands, and the entire network of pathways through which information moves through the body. And today, with Mercury so powerfully activated and so much mental and communicative energy moving through your sign's field, the health of your nervous system deserves particular and loving attention. You may feel unusually stimulated today, thoughts moving faster than usual, sensitivity heightened, an almost buzzing quality to your awareness that is exciting, but that also places specific demands on the physical system that is doing the work of processing it all. Breathwork is your most powerful health tool today, Gemini. The lungs, ruled by your sign, are the physical mechanism through which you regulate the nervous system energy that Mercury's activation is sending through your body. And slow, deliberate, conscious breathing today can make the difference between riding today's extraordinary mental energy with grace and clarity and being overwhelmed by it to the point of anxiety or mental fatigue. Before any important conversation, any significant professional moment, or any emotionally charged interaction today, breathe first, deliberately, slowly, and with full awareness. It will change everything about how you show up. Rest for Gemini today is particularly important in its mental form rather than only its physical one. Your body may feel energized and ready for movement while your mind is quietly approaching a threshold of saturation from processing the enormous amount of information and energy that today's planetary configuration is generating. Give your mind deliberate rest periods today, moments of genuine quiet, of stepping away from screens and feeds and inputs, of allowing the extraordinary mental activity of the day to settle into integration rather than continuing to accelerate without pause. The ideas you have today need space to breathe, and so do you. What you must do today. The cosmos are pointing with extraordinary Mercury-sharp precision toward 3 specific and powerful actions for Gemini on May 10, 2026, each one perfectly calibrated to the specific gifts, the specific challenges, and the specific breakthrough that today's energy is making available to your sign. The first is to write something today, not for anyone else, not for publication or performance or approval, but for yourself. A letter to your future self, a list of every brilliant idea that is currently living in your head without a home, a completely honest account of what you are feeling, thinking, wanting, and knowing at this exact moment in your life. The act of putting your extraordinary inner world into written language today is one of the most powerful forms of manifestation available to Mercury-ruled Gemini, and the universe will respond to what you write with remarkable and specific speed. The second action today is to make a decision that you have been delaying by gathering more information. Gemini, this is the pattern that most reliably keeps your sign stuck in the beautiful but ultimately limiting space between possibility and reality. The belief that more research, more data, more perspectives, and more information will eventually produce a certainty that makes deciding feel safe. It will not. The certainty comes after the decision, not before it. You have enough information today, Gemini. You have had enough for longer than you are willing to admit. Make the decision. Trust the mind that already knows the answer. Move. The third action is to reach out today to someone whose mind genuinely stimulates and challenges your own. A mentor, a collaborator, a friend whose intellectual company leaves you energized and expanded rather than drained and diminished. Gemini thrives in intellectual partnership, and today Mercury is creating a specific and powerful opening for a conversation, a collaboration, or a connection that has the potential to catalyze something in your professional or personal life that neither of you could create in isolation. Make the contact, have the conversation, and bring your most genuine, most curious, most fully alive Gemini self to everything that follows. Viewer comment. I made the decision today, the one I have been researching and overthinking for 7 months. I wrote it down, said it out loud, and sent the message before I could talk myself out of it again. Something physically shifted in my body the moment I hit send, like a door closing behind me and 3 more opening in front. Gemini readings on this channel have been the most accurate and most genuinely helpful thing in my life this year. A Gemini Decides 2026. Everything that is set in motion for Gemini on May 10th, 2026 carries the specific and extraordinary quality of Mercury-initiated change, which means it moves fast, it spreads widely, and it connects in ways that create cascading effects far beyond the original point of initiation. A single conversation today can lead to an opportunity that leads to a relationship that leads to a platform that leads to a life that looks entirely different from the one you woke up to this morning. This is how change works in Gemini's world. Not slowly, not linearly, not predictably, but with the swift and branching intelligence of a mind that never moves in just one direction when it can move in all of them simultaneously. You have been in a period of intense information gathering, Gemini, absorbing, analyzing, synthesizing, and quietly building a body of knowledge, experience, and understanding that is more comprehensive and more valuable than you have given yourself credit for recognizing. Today, that period of gathering transitions into a period of sharing, of expressing, of putting into the world what you have been preparing inside yourself for so long. The shift from student to teacher, from researcher to communicator, from thinker to doer, from one who gathers to one who gives, that shift happens today. And the world that receives what you have been preparing is going to be genuinely and significantly changed by it. The number 10 vibrating through today's date carries a resonance that is particularly meaningful for Gemini. 10 is the number of completion and of new beginning, of the full circle that contains everything learned in one cycle becoming the foundation and the fuel for the next one. For Gemini, the sign of duality and of the perpetual movement between what was and what could be, the number 10 speaks to the synthesis that is currently happening within you. The moment when the two sides of the twin finally, beautifully, and powerfully become one coherent and unstoppable force, moving in a single and magnificent direction. That synthesis is happening today. Feel it, trust it, let it guide every step. Gemini, you were placed in this world with one of the most extraordinary minds in the entire zodiac, a mind that can hold multiple truths simultaneously, that can find connection in apparent contradiction, that can translate the most complex and abstract ideas into the language most accessible to the most hearts. That is not a small gift. That is not a casual endowment. That is a cosmic responsibility given to a soul the universe trusted to handle both its brilliance and its weight with the grace, the humor, the flexibility, and the genuine curiosity that only Gemini can bring. Today, that responsibility is being honored with one of the most significant and most generously supported opportunities of your current chapter. Rise to meet it, Gemini, with both of your magnificent twins fully present, fully engaged, and fully alive. Closing, Gemini. You came to this reading today because the part of you that thinks faster than the world can keep up with already knew, before you clicked, before the first word played, before any of it, that today was the day the story changed. May 10, 2026 is your day of breakthrough, your day of clarity, your day of transformation through communication, connection, and the courageous decision to finally let the extraordinary mind and the extraordinary heart that live inside you work together toward the same extraordinary destination. Everything changes today, and the change begins in the most Gemini way imaginable, with a word, with a thought, with a conversation, with an idea whose time has irrevocably and magnificently arrived. Carry this energy forward into every moment that follows with the curiosity, the agility, the wit, and the genuine and generous love of connection that is the most beautiful expression of everything your sign was created to be. Trust both of your twins today. Trust the one who thinks and the one who feels. Trust the one who knows and the one who wonders. Because it is in the creative and dynamic tension between those two magnificent forces that the most extraordinary version of your life has always been waiting to emerge. Everything changes today, brilliant Gemini, and every single change is taking you exactly and precisely where your most alive and most honest self has always known you were meant to go. If this reading lit something up in your extraordinary Gemini mind today, please give it a like and share it with every Gemini soul in your world who needs to hear that their brilliance is seen, their complexity is beautiful, and their moment is now. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a single cosmic update, and bring your thoughts, your breakthroughs, your stories, and your beautiful and characteristically brilliant observations into the comments below. Because this community is made richer and more alive by every Gemini voice that shows up in it, and I read every single comment with genuine delight, genuine curiosity, and genuine gratitude for the remarkable souls who gather here. Until the next reading, magnificent Gemini, both of your twins are exactly where they need to be, and I will see you in the conversation.